What's up guys, I'm back again with another Ruckus video. I'm here again at our shop, Slide Performance, so I can use our tools. Today we got a pretty cool video. We got a whole bunch of new parts from the Ruck shop. It's all about lighting today. Got ourselves a tail light, so we're going to be removing this whole thing back here, chopping it off and putting it right under here by the seat. This thing's got a running light, a brake light, turn signals, everything you got going on here, this thing has in a little package. We also got some LED turn signals. So we're getting rid of these ugly ears here, chopping off the brackets, and wiring these up just around here. So we got some cutting to do, a little bit of sanding, some painting, a little bit of wiring. Should be a fun day. Not to mention, when you switch over to LEDs, you need an LED relay, which of course the Ruck shop has for you, with a little bit of instructions on how to wire it up too. So I'm going to do this video a little bit different. Usually I just do a little montage with my nice camera while I'm working, but this is a little bit more involved, so I think I'm going to use a helmet cam. So let me know about the change, if you like it or you'd rather the montage style. So without further ado, let's get right to it. First things first, we're going to remove the seat so we have easier access to the bottom of it. We're going to have to rivet that in. So I think probably the easiest thing to do to remove the seat is just remove this seat bracket altogether. It's just 1, 2, 3, and 6 bolts. So let's get to the tools. And like that, the seat is off. Now we got access to the 2 bolts right here that holds it on. And boom, like that, the seat is off. All right, it is gonna go something like that. Just got to center it up, mark some holes, drill it, and rivet it. That looks centered. Oops. Looking good. All right, and she's mounted. Sweet. Next thing we got to do is wire this guy up. All right, now we just got to disconnect this guy. Cool. Boom. We're gonna hook into that. Hopefully I have these kinds of connectors here so I can make the same kind of harness with it. Let's just unbolt this dude. And we out. I also forgot to mention I got a new license plate mount. I think it's supposed to mount over here somewhere, but I think the air box is going to be in the way, so not sure what to do about that right now. This guy we're going to end up chopping, sanding down, and painting, so that it's just clear across since we don't need that anymore. So the next thing to do is go to the Ruck shop's website where they have the pinout for the new tail light, see what colors we need to match up, see if we've got the right connectors here. If not, I'll have to make a run to AutoZone and just crimp them on and attach them. Easy as that. All right guys, so it's getting dark out here and the GoPro is about to run out of batteries, but so what I went ahead and did is bolted the seat back up to cut the wires to length, and I decided to make my own plug. These kind of suck, to be honest. I want something a little bit more waterproof since it's going to be out in the open, so I went ahead and did this side already, so I'll chop these bad boys off. pin these guys up and plug it all together. So I'm going to do that off camera and then show you the finished product in just a minute. Alright guys, so I got it wired up temporarily just to make sure everything works and everything's plugged in correctly. So let's give it a test run before we actually finish the plugs. Alright, so we know the brake light works, running light, brake light. Nice. Can definitely see that works. Left signal, and I don't have the flasher relay in, so that's obviously why it's not flashing. And right signal. So everything's good, so I'm going to turn it off, finish the plugs, and wrap it all up. What's up guys, it's a new day. The GoPro died, and it was getting kind of dark, so I decided to call it a night and start over today. So where we left off is we just finished wiring up the tail light. Everything's working. We got a nice waterproof plug over here now. But it's not flashing, so we got to get into that battery box and replace the original flasher relay with the LED flasher that we got from the Ruck shop. So let's get into that now. So I'm pretty sure that's the relay right here, but there's an easy way to check, and that is just throw the key on and flip the turn signal. If we hear it click or feel it click, we'll know that's the one. Yup, that's it. Cool. Alright, so we got to disconnect that and throw the new one on. Alright, so this wire is going to go to the battery ground, or a chassis ground, but considering the battery ground's right here, might as well just go to that. It says plug white wire with stripe off the OEM flasher to this guy, and black wire with stripe off the OEM flasher to this guy. So that's interesting. We've got a black wire and a gray wire. Not quite what the instructions say here. So we may just have to take a guess and see what happens. Alright, so I got all the wiring stuff I need. So we're just going to cut these wires because we can't reuse this plug here. Alright, so just quickly wired it up. Just took a guess on which one goes to which. I know that's the ground, but that's about it because the colors didn't match the little description that they gave me. So turn the key on, see what happens. If it works, then great. If not, then we'll just switch them. Looks good. All right. Let's make sure the front's working too. Nice, we did it. All right, I'm gonna go tidy this all up, get rid of these turn signals up front, and do the cool little LEDs right here. All right, guys, so let me show you what's going on with these turn signals. So this is the signal itself, and they've got these aluminum bezels that kind of slide on the front here, and then this will thread on the back. So what I did here is I taped off the battery box on both sides about where I want it to be, and I'm gonna take the bezel, and I'm gonna start with this side because it has the notch, and find where I want it. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. And I'm going to mark it. Alright, so now I'm just going to measure the distance that hole is, or that dot is, and then do that on the other side, and then drill pilot holes. Now I got to jump over to our step bit, and this says it needs to be drilled to 11/16, so that's that step right here. So we got a long way to go. There it is, perfect. I just got to do the other side. That's it, perfect. All right, cool. Now that that's done, we'll clean all this stuff up, pull the tape off, and move on to the wiring part. All right, before we get to wiring, we got to take the original turn signals off. Not really sure how that works. I see some nuts here, so I'm going to start with those, see if I can pull the wires out. Probably just end up cutting stuff up. But let's see how it goes. No matter what, we're going to have to cut these wires, so I'm not going to cut them here just in case anybody wants these for whatever reason. They're not going to have any room to do anything with. And I know I'm going to have way too much wire anyway, so I'm gonna cut it right about here. Nice. Pull that out. Don't need that anymore. We're gonna end up cutting these tabs off too. I want to take these reflectors off. They're gonna be blocking the new turn signals, and I think they're pretty ugly, so. Oh, would you look at that? There's plugs in there. Could have just unplugged it. Oh well, now you know. All right, now we got our wires run. And now that I know that they unplug from right over here, I don't need to make any fancy plugs or anything. I just have to butt connect them up. So back to more wiring. All right guys, the wiring's all done. Like I said before, we found out there was plugs on these, so I was able to just unplug them and cut them to length and connect them to the LEDs. Now I just have to put the battery box back on, run the wire through, and plug them back in. All right, we're all plugged back up. Let's do a little test before we bolt everything back together here. Uh-oh. Well guys, I think we wired it backwards. Luckily we can just swap the wires and it should be all good. All right, now we're connected. Let's try that again, though I still think it's wired backwards. Yeah, both are lighting up. That's no good. Basically turned our turn signals into hazard lights. All right, let's swap the wires and hopefully that'll work. All right, we reverse the wires, see if anything different happens here. Well, we had them the right way the first time, but for some reason it's still flashing both at the same time. Great. All right guys, so I did a quick search on the Ruckus Facebook groups and I found out what my problem is. It's this guy right here. Apparently I have to unplug this wire for these things to work properly. So we had it wired correctly the first time. And there's two. All right, let's see if that was a trick. Hey! Nice. Gotta love the internet, guys. Alright, let's bolt this all back up. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. I think it looks freaking awesome. As for these brackets here and this one back here, I'm gonna cut those off on my own time. That's just boring. You guys probably don't want to watch it, so it's just a lot of cutting, sanding, and painting. So I'll do that off camera. You'll probably see in the next video I shoot that it's already done. So I'm gonna go ride this thing. Let me know what you think. We got a ton more stuff coming up in the near future for this bike. I can't wait for the next few mods. They're gonna be really cool. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you're looking out for the next video. Peace.